So if we consider why technical capability cannot guarantee user adoption. So if we look at traditional engineering assumptions, so in traditional engineering, we have certain assumptions like the traditional engineering assumption. If the system works, user will adopt. So in traditional engineering, we have an assumption that, okay, we just have to make a working system. And if the system is working correctly, users will adopt it. But unfortunately, this assumption, see, definitely it works very well for traditional engineering systems, but for agentic systems, for agentic AI systems, this assumption, it fails. So this assumption that if the system works, user will adapt, it fails in agentic systems. And why is it so? Why in agentic AI systems, this assumption fails? Because the main reason for that is here the agent, because in agentic AI system, the application, the agents, they make decisions, they act autonomously. So if a user does not understand why an agent took an action, they perceive it as opaque and risky, leading to disengagement. Because see here in agentic AI application, agents, they will act on their own. So the user has to have a clarity, a transparency that why an agent took a particular action. Otherwise, the user will lose the trust. Agents, they handle ambiguity. Agents, they make judgment calls that might not align with user intent. And agents, they sometimes fail unpredictably. So unlike a bug in a standard app, an agent's failure can look like a logical but incorrect decision, making it harder to debug or trust. So now it's very clear that agentic AI system, it is been given more responsibility, because in traditional engineering system, user is sitting on the driving wheel, chair, because the end user is driving the system. But in agentic AI application, it acts autonomously. It makes decisions on its own. And hence, trust issue is a very important factor. Because if there is a lack of clarity, the lack of transparency, then the end user, he might start wondering why the agent is taking decision, a particular decision, or why an agent took a particular action. So trust will become a very important issue, how the agent is handling the ambiguity. And sometimes agents, they fail unpredictably, because here the user is not on the driving seat, rather the end user is sitting on a seat beside the driving seat. So the driving seat is being occupied by the agentic AI system, and that's why user experience plays a very important role. Despite the system is working, despite the agentic AI system, it is acting autonomously, it is making decision, it is solving the problem, it is working correctly, but the user might not trust it. The user might not trust it because of lack of transparency, because of the lack of clarity, and hence user experience becomes very important. So in agentic systems, users, they don't adopt based on raw capability. So despite agentic AI system, it is capable, it is working correctly, the users, they might not adopt it. Users will adopt agentic AI systems based on clarity. They need a very good clarity, like how exactly the agentic AI system is working, like what decisions it is taking, why it is taking a particular decision. So clarity and control is something which user wants. Users need to see the agent's reasoning, that's a traceability, and Users should have the ability to intervene or set guardrails. So, with that clarity and control, users will adopt the agentic AI systems. Predictability. Even if the agent is autonomous, its boundaries must be consistent so the user knows what to expect. And the trust. So, this is built through transparency and reliability. Because if the agentic AI system is very transparent, if there is a clarity is there, control is there, reliability is there, then definitely the trust will be established. If the user experience is poor, the agent feels like a black box because the end user will get puzzled. What is happening? It will act like a black box, the agentic AI system. And the user will not delegate high stakes task to it. And that's why in agentic AI application, user adoption is not just about the capability, but it's more about the trust. It's more about the clarity, control, and predictability. So this is a very interesting thing which we can see in agentic AI systems. So a technically brilliant agent with poor user experience. For an end user, a technically brilliant agent with a poor experience for the end user, it will feel very confusing because of the poor user experience. It will be unreliable, opaque, and risky. And ultimately, the users they will disengage. They will not adopt the system despite it is a brilliant agent. So now it's very clear that when you are designing an or building an agentic AI application, agentic AI system, definitely you have to make a brilliant agent, but you have to focus on the user experience as well. Because now it's very clear that user experience plays a very important role in agent design, agent system design. And when and in terms of user experience, the clarity, the control, the predictability, and the trust will decide whether the end user will adopt your agentic AI system or not.